We are live on Lake of America. There's the Thousand Island Bridge. There's another boat out in front of us.
Underneath the bridge, we're traveling between two Canadian parks. To our left is Georgina Island National Park. It's the oldest Canadian national park. And like I mentioned, the bridge does touch down on Georgina Island, but there are no on or off ramps allowing cars to get off. So that being said, it is only accessible by boat and therefore only open during the spring, summer, and fall. Now to our right is Islay Provincial Park. The park's location made it very convenient for the large steamships that were passing through the area if they ever needed to stop and refuel or load supplies. It's now very popular. It has many campsites and also a few beaches. And since the park is in the mainland, it is accessible by car.
Say hello.
You've got to get up early with their hats.
There's a hat.
This next section of the river we're traveling through is known as Whirlpool Channel. So if you guys look into the water on either side of the boat, you may notice some whirlpools or eddies. This time it's not a joke, I promise. And these eddies are formed when the underwater drop off that's higher than Niagara Falls when it's hardly submerged. And since the current is so strong through here, this part of the river is not
That's the Thousand Islands Bridge. All right. I'm still live.
The underwater drop-off that we just passed over also causes this next phenomenon we're turning into. It's known as wrong way channel. It's given that name not because we're going to go the wrong way, but because at this point the water reverses directions for a moment. So if you guys look into this passage, you can see the water actually moves upriver against the natural flow of the St. Lawrence due to the immense volume of water needed to fill the void that we just passed over.
The first one's on the Lake of America. Let's go. What?
Now that we've hit our turn here, there's a wonderful view of the Thousand Island sky deck right ahead of us. Georgina Island over here on our left, you'll see two more spans of the Thousand Islands Bridge system. The first one that's coming into view right now is the Warren Truss span. And then once you see that, keep looking to the left. You'll see the Rainbow Arch span. Now both of these spans are also fully constructed.
Watch my drop my phone.
On the island at once. Just kidding, that's the speed limit. So several years ago, the U.S. and Canadian government and National Geographic counted all of the islands in the region, and all three of them came up with different numbers. They then got together and decided to come up with the requirements that an official island must have.
think I'm going to shut this thing down. Hello. Oh, just shooting a video.
For YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Throughout this part of the tour, I like to go over some commonly asked questions I've been asked of the tour guide, and I've been asked lots of great ones, but also a few silly ones. Are you on it?
Yeah. Well, I'm live.
Or how long is your 2-hour tour? The other day, someone asked me if the islands float around, and then while giving the tour, do you work here? Most of the questions I do get asked are very good. I do residents on the island, and water, electricity, and waste. So the first thing I'll talk about is what these residents do and what they do for their water. So you guys look over the right side of the boat. What do you guys see over the left side of the boat? Oh, you'll see they're surrounded by water. Most of these residents filter out their water directly from the river because it's over 95% pure. The water is so deep because of invasive species that are found from the bottom of ships and overseas, and they're called zebra mussels. Now they're super small, about 700 and so that one zebra mussel can filter out a liter of water every 24 hours, and all the zebra mussels in the river can filter it out every 72 hours. So as you see, the water is super clean. They're also very annoying. They stick to pretty much anything and everything in the water. They also have pretty sharp edges, so if you have swam in the river before and gotten any cuts on your body, it's from those zebra mussels. So a lot of residents use river water. Some use bottled water for their drinking, and you can take care out of the sand. That's just because the pressure surface here. So it's clean water that then goes to my body, so it's like a plate safe. This next island on our right is Trident Island. Average snowfall of 100 inches per winter. They aren't allowed the snow to slide off the roof, preventing any pavements and property damage. So the next thing I'll talk about with these residents is what they do for their power supply. So over 90% use a hydro cable. That's just simply an underwater extension cord that provides power from the mainland to the island. And while it's super efficient, it's also very expensive, costing around $150 to $200 a foot to install. So a lot of these larger islands use that. They get to split the cost amongst each other, so it does get a little cheaper. But if it's really expensive. Now other residents use gas or diesel powered generators. These are usually your smaller islands and smaller homes. And then a super small percentage today go without any power at all. We are also starting to see the use of solar panels a little bit more, but they still aren't super popular due to the harsh winters and the damage that they bring. residents is what they do for their sewage and waste. So since the islands are super hard and rocky, you can't really build a septic system into them, so residents are stuck using large holding tanks. When that tank fills up, they call a water jumper from the mainland to come and pump out their tank for them. And you won't really be able to spot in these large holding tanks. That's just because they aren't the prettiest things to look at, so the residents tend to hide them very well. Divers may have noticed some red or green colored markers scattered throughout the river, whether they are buoys floating in the water, poles sticking out of an island, like the one you see here over on your left. These are called channel markers, and they help to direct which way you are traveling. They also mark where the main shipping channel is in the river as well. And the red ones provided 3 R's of navigation: red, right, returning. So the red ones are on your right, they're returning from the sea. And the green ones, the same is green, right, going. So the green ones are on your right, you are going towards the sea. The red markers with a number and a circle around it refer to the speed limit that's set for the area, and that speed limit applies to those over 40 feet in length, such as the boat you guys are on today. And fine for exceeding that speed limit may be $1,000 per mile an hour over the limit.
We must have done a circle, right?
You guys want to go upstairs upstairs? All the way up?
Now this next section of the river we're traveling through is known as Smuggler's Cove. There's a strategic location that was used by the rum runners during the Prohibition, so that there are 7 entrances into the cove, which also means that there are 7 exits. This made it harder for the authorities to follow the rum runners.